Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the Government Communicators Conference 2025 is a premier national event taking place in the Irongo region in Swakopmund specifically, bringing together communication professionals from across public and private sectors to align and share best practices, innovations and challenges in public communication that would enable Namibian communicators to best communicate and enhance strategies that promote the Namibian government agenda. We're honored to be joined this morning by Mr. Micheal Madhimba. He's a commercial associate at NAMPA, and he will tell us more about all of this. Good morning, sir, and welcome back to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, Denver. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning to the entire Good Morning team.
Yes. How have you been? How is NAMPA?
I'm well, thanks. NAMPA is doing well. A lot is happening behind the scenes, but we're pushing.
Absolutely, and it's clear. We can see that when we're witnessing it.
Definitely. Thank you.
Speak to us about the importance of this platform called the Government Effective Communicators Conference. What does it seek to accomplish? What is its goal?
Thank you. So the Effective Government Communicators Conference is in its maiden edition. It will be taking place in Swakopmund next week. That's from the 16th to the 18th of July, 2025. So, of course, it's a maker of sorts that brings together communicators from across the country, both in the public sector as well as the private sector as well. So the whole idea is to bring industry thought leaders within the space of communication for knowledge sharing purposes, as well as just to dissect how do we, approach the national agenda. As you're aware, our President, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, communicated to the nation the critical enablers that would assist the country moving forward in terms of achieving our socio-economic development goals. So the crux of the conference is really to bring us together and sort of like demystify and define exactly what the national agenda is.
And to see to it that everyone is on the same page, because disseminating this important message,
Definitely.
disseminating the gospel of the country is ultimately at the heart of what will be unfolding.
Definitely.
So who are you specifically targeting for this conference?
Okay, so in terms of the participants, it's communication experts from across the sector, both public and private as well. You look at PROs as well, they are also included in there. Any communication executives, CEOs, industry leaders, and so forth. It's quite across the board.
And in terms of speakers, who will be responsible to lead the conference?
Okay, so thank you for that question. We're excited because we'll be having our Prime Minister, Right Honourable Elijah Ngurari, in attendance. We're hoping to have him physically, but right now we are busy trying to see if that will be possible. If not, he will attend via video link as well. We'll also have some of the custodians of the critical enabling agencies, ministries. So we're talking about EDs, deputy ministers, etc.
Now, what will be the key themes? What will be the key challenges that you hope will feature at the conference?
Okay. So at the very basic level, if you might allow me to be a bit pedagogical. At the very
Please do be.
Thank you. At the very basic level, in terms of communication, the communication flow, you have the encoding side of things, then you've got the message in between, then you've got the decoding element at the end of it. So in order for a message to be thoroughly received, to be effectively received, the encoding side of things needs to happen properly. If that doesn't happen, that understanding of what the message really is, the whole process you notice, Denver, until the decoding side of things is a bit flawed. So that's the gap we're trying to bridge, to ensure that the government, our national government, has communicated and articulated what are the priority areas, the key economic enablers that assist us to achieve our socio-economic goals. But for us communicators, it's key for us to understand, to encode that message correctly, so that in our roles we will be able to articulate and disseminate correct and accurate information to the populace, to the citizenry. So these are some of the things, because wherever there's communication involved, there's always gaps, loopholes, and misinformation. So that's the gap that we're trying to achieve through that. So as you rightly said, There will be various topics on show. We'll have what are called breakaway rooms, where we have experts speaking about various themes around communication. We'll have themes centered around press release writing, how to craft an effective press release, how to deal with the crisis management communication, stakeholder engagement, and community engagement as well. So those are just a bit of the topics that will be on.
I'm happy you're sharing that with us. There is a perception that exists, whether fair or otherwise, that we are generally very reactive in our approach to communication, particularly during crises, as opposed to being more proactive. Right. And if you garner the trust from the onset and you maintain that consistently, it need not be a crisis in any case. So what's your take on how we can improve on being more proactive as opposed to only being reactive?
Great stuff. Great question. So it's all hands on deck for all communicators, journalists, or whatever. If you're a communicator, professional communicator in your setting, it's important to understand, especially the encoding side of things. How do you understand that message? That's why we're gathering there, to have a common understanding of how do we demystify, how do we break and define this thing called the national agenda? What exactly is it? Do we all understand individually or corporately what the national agenda is? What are the key economic enablers? What are those? And how do we as communicators, define those for the understanding of our audience? So that's really key for us.
And how do I put my own biases as a human being aside, right? And focus on the matter at hand and do so responsibly. For the conference to be deemed successful, what do you hope communicators will leave Swakopmund with in terms of skills?
Great. So apart from the conference being an opportunity for networking, we are hoping that we'll share best practices that will form sort of like a guideline going forward. Denver, at the end of this conference, we're hoping that we can come with sort of like a recommendation going forward on how we can collectively as communicators, shape the narrative of the national agenda. So we're hoping at the end of the conference, we craft something that we can actually present to our principals, and hopefully it will be included in policy making and those sorts of things. Yeah.
What are you most excited about?
Wow. Firstly, it's made an appearance, so we're really excited. Logistically, it's been exciting, challenging here and there, but we're looking forward to having this on an annual basis as well. So we're looking forward to tapping into the minds of the experts that will be presenting as well. So that's the most important thing, and hopefully each and every communicator that will attend will have something to write home about.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for those insights. Safe travels. May the conference be a resounding success.
Thank you so much, Denver. Much appreciated.
Commercial Associate at NAMPA, Mr. Micheal Madhimba, talking to us about an effective Government Communicators Conference slated for next Wednesday until Friday in Swakopmund in the Irongo region. Good morning, Mobile will resume after a brief break.